Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about one of the very important things related to men's health, which is masturbation. This is extremely important topic, and we need to talk about this because it's not generally talked about. There's a lot of misconceptions around this topic. There's a lot of divided opinions. If you look at the modern medicine, um, the doctors practicing the modern medicines, they always suggest that masturbation is always healthy, no matter how many times you do, no matter when you start, very early in the age or later. It's a healthy sexual expression is all of them, what they say. But if you look at the ancient Ayurvedic medicinal system, or any ancient medicine system, for example the Chinese ancient medicine system, there um, the opinion changes slightly, where they say that the virya, which is the semen, is kind of the most important dhatu in your body, because it's prepared after all after all of the other six dhatus are prepared. Then the shukra dhatu is prepared, so it's extremely important, extremely precious. And even in Chinese medicine, it's called a chi, which is the life, right? So these ancient medicinal systems sort of strictly advise against masturbation, because they think that it's the best of lot of your energy, be it physical energy, be it mental energy, be it all all the essential source of life within you. So they sort of advise against it. So today we're going to talk about both these perspectives. So from the modern perspective, I think even from there has to be some balance given the time that we are living in, right? So I think from the modern perspective, um, it's okay to masturbate certain amounts of certain period of times during the week, but certainly not okay to overdo it, right? And especially the young guys, they always have this question, how many times is the ideal? There is no such number, but I would put a, even if somebody has to put a number, I think 2 to 3 times a week would be within the limits, is what I would say. But if you're doing it more than 3 times a week, you are certainly sort of bordering that limit of overdoing it. And it's again completely dependent on person to person, how your diet is, how active you are physically, um, what is your genetics, how early you started. I think this is also very important for the people who started very late, in their teens. They have more ability to do it, for a large number of times compared to people who have started very early. So that thing is also there. And depending on all those factors, I will also tell you certain number of symptoms that you can check for, just to make sure that you're not overdoing it, right? So all the young boys, please listen to these symptoms and see if you are going through few of them. That is certainly an indicator of you need to take a break from the masturbation, and you will see all these symptoms will magically go away, right? So I think one of the very important symptoms of over masturbation is fatigue, and the weakness. You'll always right from when you get up in the bed in the morning, you'll feel like you have worked a lot, you're very tired, you don't have energy. That kind of symptom, if you are having without doing much of physical work or mental work all the time, then that's probably the symptom of over masturbation, very important symptom of over masturbation. Next is the brain fog. Brain fog essentially means that you're not able to focus. There's literally like a lot of cloudiness in your brain. You're not alert, you're not in the moment. So there's this quite a bit of lag between your thinking and your actions and all those things. So it's again one of the important symptoms of over masturbation. Then yeah, one thing that is experienced by most people is the back pain, especially lower back pain, and also sort of the stiffness of muscles in neck, shoulders, calf. All this kind of stiffness can also indicate that you are probably doing it more than you should. um, Again, there are some very peculiar symptoms that you can just figure out if you carefully. For example, if there is a week where you've done it like 6-7 times a day, 6-7 times a week, you will realize these kind of very peculiar symptoms. You'll For example, you'll have an eye strain or photophobia, where you're looking at a computer screen or phone, you're constantly getting this burning in your eye, and there is kind of eye strain. You'll have some sort of um, acidity kind of symptoms, right? In Ayurveda, they say the pitta gets elevated, and those symptoms related to pitta or acidity in terms of Ayurveda becomes much more broader compared to modern medicine, because then all your pimples, all your boils, all your skin infections, heat issues, over body heat issues, all those things are related to then that pitta issue, which is what the modern medicine calls as acidity. Then there are some sexual problems that you will face, probably the premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, and of course there could be some issues with your dental health as well. So overall, there are quite a bit of symptoms that you can just look at, and which can act as a good indicator for yourself to know if you are over masturbating. The different symptoms that people generally face regarding the over masturbation. um, I would also like to talk about, if you are facing these symptoms, what are the different things that you can do to make sure that you improve your physical health, mental health, sexual health, everything, right? So the first and foremost thing that you should do is, if not stop completely, you should reduce the frequency of your masturbation. So that will prevent the further depletion of the resources, further depletion of that life force within you, right? So you need to sort of control and streamline and engage in something which is maybe a hobby or sport, so that you get the benefit from there in terms of reduction in anxiety, in terms of improved physical stamina and improved muscles and all those things. At the same time, these things, the hobby and sport, all these things will help you to distract your mind from your thoughts, which when you're alone or when you have a lot of time and don't have anything to do, you certainly tend to your mind sort of will drift away towards all those thoughts, and you tend to masturbate. So engage in something, stay around with more and more people. There are a lot of online communities like NoFap, which is like providing support to each other to recover from this habit of over masturbation. Take help of those different things. Also, you can take the professional help from the psychological counseling, or actual doctors as well. You can consult them and tell, maybe these are certain things that I've tried but still not able to control the masturbation, and they can help you as well. Now, that is about stopping the further depletion of the resources, but what about the things that have happened for years, and your body is now sort of completely lacking of those essential nutrients or stamina, and overall health? So I'll sort of recommend some of the natural medicines which are very potent, which are found to be really helpful. At the same time, they cause no side effects, because they are completely herbal medicines, right? And I think they can be very, very helpful in terms of changing your body's metabolic process and restoring all those nutrients that you've lost over a period of years. So first such tablet is Capua Endurance. This is extremely helpful in terms of people who have lost stamina, who are now suffering extremely quick discharge in terms of premature ejaculation. Because what happens is, when you masturbate for a very long period of time, you train your brain to ejaculate as quickly as possible. And it's just, for example, if you're training your muscle, it's just similar. And you're training your pelvic muscles, your penile tissues, and your entire nervous system, so as to respond in terms of ejaculation as soon as possible if there is stimulation. And that training continues even when you're married, you're having actual sex. So therefore, to undo that training is very important. And I think Kapiva endurance tablet helps a lot in terms of premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, at the same time overall boosting your overall physical energy and mental energy as well, right? It has around 14 herbs, 7 bhasmas. It has Shilajit, Ashwagandha, Gokshura, all these very standard, typical, well-known medicines for the sexual health. In Ayurveda, the ingredients alone are important, but not the only thing, right? The process of making the medicine is also very important. Just like, for example, if you have tea powder, milk, sugar, that doesn't mean that you can make the best of the tea. The process of making the tea using those ingredients is also very important in terms of the final result, right? So the Kapiva endurance tablets, it's made using the Bhavna Sanskara, which is a very ancient traditional medicine processing method. And I think therefore it sort of enhances and stands apart from all other Ayurvedic tablets as well, which might not have given you results by this time, but yeah, you can try this one. And of course, the next thing that I would like to recommend is Shilajit. It's a very well-known sort of mineral, and the brand that I would like to recommend here again is Kapiva, because it's a grade A Shilajit, which is processed with Triphala in a 7-step process for over 24 hours, and sort of which is very rich in fulvic acid, which is clinically and scientifically tested to increase the stamina levels. So only Shilajit is not important, it's also about which Shilajit, which brand, how pure it is, how well processed it is. So I think this particular Shilajit that I'm recommending is very well processed and is in line with what the ancient Ayurvedic texts tell us, right? So it's very important to use the correct product as well. And last thing that I would like to recommend is the multivitamin. Since the semen is very rich in all the essential nutrients, like all the micronutrients as well, like vitamins and minerals, you lose out on a lot of those essential nutrients every time you ejaculate. So it's extremely important to fill your body again, out of all the deficiencies that you have. So a very investment in a very good multivitamin is also very important. But there is one issue with the multivitamin is because there are so many options to choose from. Not all the multivitamins are good in terms of the absorption. A lot of multivitamins cause a lot of gastric issues, which are already pretty common with people with over-masturbation. So one vitamin that I've tried and which was really really good in terms of not having such gastric side effects, at the same time improving my overall energy levels, was True Basics Multivit Main. It was slightly expensive than the other multivitamins, but it's a good investment for the long term, because your body is sort of probably might be deficient of a lot of nutrients, and this one will definitely help you cope up with it. And I think these are not the recommendations, you can talk with your doctor, but these are the things from my experience, I think, which work really well. And please let me know in the comment section if you have any more questions or any help you need in this regard going forward. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.